Local heat.
Well, my name is Money Wave Trey. I'm CEO of Money Wave Empire. I'm host, I manage, and basically I'm a boss. I do everything that I can do to help develop an artist to become better. Basically taking them through the process of the steps that I was never taught, teaching the next generation. So my name is Money Wave Trey, and I do events and whatever need to be done in the business, I can get it done.
Hey man, my name is Ed Mason, Marshall Mason, government. But yeah, I run Leverage Entertainment. We're just a collective of people who pretty much like Money Wave do everything in house from recording, mixing, mastering, booking, videography, photography, um, promo teams, a little bit everything, digital promo. Um, but yeah, Leverage Entertainment, M Mason, CEO.
Um,
My name is Xavier Martin, founder of Black of the Berry Management, home of KO. Currently just pushing her at the moment. Just trying to put the city on the map and take it from there.
All right, fellas, thank y'all for participating. We're calling this the Artist Managers Roundtable. We want to kind of look into the artist management side of the game here locally and beyond. A lot of times we talk about the producer, who's doing the beat, who's making the video, who's throwing the show. But managers are very critical and crucial to what we're doing as far as how artists develop. Now, people have their opinions and thoughts on managers, so I want to kind of talk to you, and so maybe we can clear some stuff up and allow people to think about some things they hadn't thought about as far as managers are concerned. First thing I wanted to ask you all, when people say local artists don't need managers, they're not necessary, what do you have to say for that?
I feel like I said, I feel like that me being an artist first, like I needed that management, but that I never got. So it's really important to have a management, but you gotta have the right manager that actually believe in you and actually gonna push you. You can't have no lazy ass manager, point blank period. You lazy ass manager, then you need to just find somebody else. But management is really. I know Oklahoma tends to say that it don't make no sense for you to have a manager, but at the end of the day, it does make sense for you to have a manager. But it's about having the right person. It's all about the person that that's your manager.
Yeah, I feel the same as him, man. Again, once you take the artist title, which means you're about your business, like any business, you need management. Like McDonald's has management. Every business, every establishment has management to it to help it run. So as a self-made entity, like an artist, you need that. Now, if you're just a hobbyist, if you're just doing this to sing in your backyard and do karaoke, then you don't need management, obviously. But if you actually call yourself an artist, you absolutely need management. It goes hand in hand.
So I feel like that's a case by case question, depending on the artist, because I feel like in Oklahoma there are only so many artists that need management just based upon the load that they have. You know what I mean? Like if you got somebody in your corner, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna manage you, that got your best interest at heart, and they're gonna ride for you, cool. But I don't think a lot of artists understand that, especially like for myself, like this is a job. Like we get paid however much percentage that we get paid. So if you're not bringing in no revenue, if you're not at the point to where you really, got a load that's gonna bring in revenue to pay your manager, you really not at that point yet. You know what I mean? Like your load got to be heavy enough for a manager to step in. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning stages when you're just getting started, your name ain't really out there, ain't no need for no manager. But whenever you like it's a little bit too much and it's taken away from you focusing on the artistry, then it's time for you to step up and get a manager. But you just got to know, like, this shit ain't free. So it just depends, budget wise and what you got going on.
Right.
Cool, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's
real right there.
That's
That's real right there.
Do you feel pressure to get results?
I don't feel pressure. I feel like a lot of managers feel pressure to get results because they know, especially if they're working on commission based, that if the artists don't get paid, they don't get paid. But I don't feel the pressure because if it's not something that my artist wants to do, then I'm not going. At the end of the day, it's about her artistry before it's about money. So if it don't make sense for her and her vision, then it's no pressure. You feel what I'm saying? But my only pressure comes from the artist itself. It don't come from nobody else. Like as far as like timelines and deadlines and shit like that, like what she want done as far as KO. But as far as like pressure from the outside world, nah, ain't no pressure.
Mhm. I feel like it does come with a lot of pressure, but like you said, like bro said, it's about what the artist want out of it. As long as you could make your artist satisfied, I feel like it ain't gonna be too much of a pressure. And it's about your artist ignoring the outsiders. As long as y'all know what the game plan is, that's all that matters. Because the artist gonna have the people like, why you ain't signed no big record deal yet? Why you ain't did this yet? He been your manager so long. You ain't in the mainstream. You ain't this and that. You know what I mean? Then that throws off the artist, make it look. They look at you different. Like,
Right.
oh, is you doing your job or is you not? You know what I mean? Because like with me, I deal with like what 6 artists. I got some artists that's still developing, and then I got some artists that's I feel like that's there. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the ones that's not there got to have an understanding. Like, okay, you gonna get there. You know what I mean? You gonna get there. Just trust the process. Just trust the process. And then the artist that's already there, I put it in people's face. Like my top artist right now, honestly, is Queso Bobby, say for instance. You know what I mean? That's my top artist, you know what I mean? Right now, that's the focus point of what we pushing as a brand, you know what I mean? Other artists, they doing their thing, they making their music and everything, they getting their videos dropped, but still it's a process and trusting the process at the end of the day, and don't let the outsiders dictate what the fuck you got going on, really. Then
Exactly.
you'll be okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Yeah, for me, same. I put pressure on myself, honestly, to understand the game because the game is always changing. So as a manager, you have to know pretty much. You don't even have to know the ins and out, but you need at least the direction. You know what I mean? So, um, like South by Southwest, you got to know about that. You got to know about A3C conferences. You got to know about the ASCAP conference. Like there's things you need to know about in order to even put them in a place where you can manage them. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it is about making money at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
if you can't get them to the point where they can monetize their talent, then there's a lot more work to be doing.
Mm.
So that's the pressure I kind of get. I get the pressure of knowing industry standard and knowing where we should be versus where we are. And I always check the distance. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, longevity is the goal. This is where we are. So, what do we have to do to keep this thing going? What do we have to do to get you more exposure to monetize that value? That's my biggest pressure right there.
How do you all deal with unrealistic expectations from artists?
Like as far as the artist, like basically something that ain't gonna work, but in their
Well,
mind they want to make it work. Like
yeah,
unrealistic.
they have these
Right.
ideas about what they want to accomplish, and maybe it's not doable at this time and even in the foreseeable future. And how do you manage that part of that their expectations without souring the relationship?
Like me with my situation, I just tell them if it ain't the moment, I'm gonna let them know it ain't the moment. You know what I mean? Like say for instance, if you want a video shot by a dude that's gonna charge you $2,000, he got a name out there, but that's not within our budget. Then I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna let you know. Well, I know somebody that could do it for $200 that could do the same things they do. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's about the way that you market and the way that you promote it. It ain't about who shot your video or what this and what's that, who made your beat, who made that. It's about you as an artist. How'd you promote it? How is you keeping your support? You know, so some stuff do be unrealistic and you just gotta be blunt with them. I mean, I just be real with my artists. Like about this whole like if it ain't gonna work, I'm gonna let them know that ain't gonna work out. You know what I mean? If they're gonna put you in the hole personally, put me in the hole personally, we ain't about to make that move. Cause we ain't millionaires around this motherfucker. So for real.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much what he said is it's like it's a real conversation that you got to have with your artist, just like a sit down. Like, look, I understand the vision, but budget wise, is it gonna make sense? You know what I mean? Like, I always try to bring it all back to the budget because everything it comes down to the numbers. You feel what I'm saying? So like, you can have the biggest vision in the world, but if we can't afford it, like he said, then we just can't do it at that moment. And I feel like a manager's job is to make sure that an artist's vision comes to life. But at the same time, with us not being investors, like we don't have the money to make that vision come to life. So if you don't have the money to make it come to life, that just is what it is. Like you don't have the money right now. Now, if there's some way that we can kind of, decrease, like cut the corners, like he said, like not spend $2,000 and only spend $200 to make the vision come, then we can do that. But sometimes the vision just be so far, like you really gonna have to have a big ass budget to make that come to life. And like we just got to have that conversation that it's not feasible right now. Not that it won't ever happen, just right now, it's just not gonna happen.
For me, I believe that almost anything is doable as long as the resources are there. Because the higher I'm going up, I'm realizing that a lot of these industry people aren't spending the money that they say they're spending. They have a relationship. So yeah, Drake got on $1 million watch, but he didn't pay $1 million for that. They gave him that because they knew him wearing that watch is gonna make 30 other artists or rappers go buy this watch. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. So like Trey was saying, somebody from Trey's camp that don't know so-and-so video, the videographer, he'll charge them $2,000. But the person he got a relationship with, he getting his videos for $550, $700 because he has a relationship with that person. So with my team, I try to let them know that, like, okay, first off, who do we know that can make this come to pass? It's not even a money thing because now I'm realizing the power of the industry is based on relationships. I take money off the table because once you make it about money, that's when it gets, it's a lot of stuff you can't do if we're talking money, you know what I mean? But if we're talking relationships, then who are we in relation with that can help us get this done? Okay, I want a Lamborghini in the video. Who do we know with a Lamborghini? You see what I'm saying? So that's the mentality I try to give my artists. Before we can even plan an idea, we need to figure out who we need to make this idea come to pass or come to fruition. So I try not to turn nothing down from
them. Is it hard to build trust with artists? It seems like sometimes in where we are, people have had so many bad experiences. They've been robbed, people fed them a dream. So you guys are here because I know you to be businessmen and people that don't bullshit. So how do you build trust with the artists because you really can't do anything if you don't trust each other? So what are some of the things you do that cement that relationship so you can start working together and making something of it?
Man, you ain't lying. That's building trust, I think, is one of the hardest obstacles to, overcome. It took me and KO a long time to kind of mesh because she was real standoffish, and understandable why she was. You know what I mean? She wasn't from the city. She's from Enid, so she didn't really know a lot of the people from the city and, you know, the politics that go on within the city. And the first time I sat down with her, I just had to let her know, like, I've been in this game for a minute, and there's some people that rock with me, and there's some people that don't rock with me. And if they don't rock with me, it's probably because they can't. So don't go based off what you heard, go based off of how I treat you and what our relationship is. You know what I mean? So
Thanks.
it was just a me spending time with her every day and just showing her my undying loyalty, like even through the arguments, even through the ups and downs, like no matter what, like I'm still her. You feel what I'm saying? Like it comes more than just a manager and client relationship. At some point, it does become a friendship. You feel what I'm saying? Because you spend the time with this person more than you spending with your family at some points. So it just you just got to build that bond and just that understanding that like I'm her no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah, with me, like I said, you know, what a lot of my artists tend to say that they liked about me being a manager, and you know, it was trust issue that was involved in it. They said that I actually call and check up on them. You know, what I mean, it ain't gotta be about music. How's life going? You know what I mean? You know, just the little things. You know what I mean? I see they having a bad day on Facebook. You know, I hit them up. What's going on, man? You know, we ain't gotta talk about music all the time. You know, we can talk about, you know, what you're going through. You know what I mean? Because everything is a mental thing. So if it's something mentally, personally that you got going on in your life, I mean, it ain't my business to know, but just give me like a heads up so I can know like if I'm overworking you, how can we manage your personal life and your business life to where you don't feel overworked. So with my situation, you know, like I said, I deal with multiple artists. So it's just like with my situation, it's just like giving them a call about their personal stuff, like just checking up on them. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, they start relying on me, and then my actions start speaking for it. You know what I mean? And everything else, and everything that I said, I manifested. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing that I really did that stirred them wrong. I ain't never told them that I'm gonna put them in the mansion, and you know what I mean, none of that stuff. I just told them trust the process. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be long nights and long days and long months and long years. You know.
So,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with that. It's definitely a certain process to it. But I know one thing that a lot of people can't deny as far as, you know, building trust is forward movement, you know, being productive. Um, you know, when you're standing still in life, everybody, it's not a secret. You'll know you're unhappy, you know, this thing isn't going the way it's supposed to go, or you know, you'll feel some resistance in your life that, you know, you just feel like you need to break these barriers. So when you have a team around you that's helping you break through these barriers and break these walls down and, you know, make these contacts with people that you normally wouldn't have, or push you to a level that you couldn't have got without that person, that helps. You know what I mean? You don't have to work miracles really to gain trust. You just got to be consistent. So to me, you know, that's, you know, being consistent and being productive, that's the best way I've been able to get my artist trust.
being
Exactly. If you say you're gonna do something, you know, do it.
yeah,
So that's pretty much
Preach. Preach.
Yep.
yeah.
You say you gonna do it, you better do it, nigga. You better find a way to do that shit.
No gaslighting.
Yeah, it been times I've been stuck in situations with my arts like, fuck, nigga, I ain't got the funds to do it. Fuck it, you know what I'm gonna do? Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit somebody up I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, reach out to people. That's when it come down to networking with other labels. You know what I mean? Like I say, me and Leverage NT, we basically like family. Well, we are family. You know what I mean? Anything that I ain't got, I know Leverage NT got. You know what I mean?
Vice versa.
And I know they're gonna have my back on it. And that's just like with my artists. They know that they can run to M Mason on anything. If they know I can't do it, they gonna holler at M Mason about it. Like, big bro, you know, we got the respect from Trey, you know, to come and talk to you about anything. You know what I mean? So it ain't like I feel like bro trying to take my artists or bro trying to do this. It's all out of love. You know what I mean? That's how I want them to always be. You know? So,
Okay, cool. When do you know when it's time to end a relationship with an artist?
OD.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go first. You go first since you laugh first.
Who? Who? You
X,
talking
go
me?
ahead, X.
Hey, you talking me? Hey, I dealt with it before. You know what I mean? Hey, I know the time. Just like I said, it comes down to me being blunt about my situation, bro. Like I'm just cutthroat with it. Like, hey, check this out. Our vibe is off. You know what I mean? What's going on? Like I said, it comes down to now it's getting personal now. What's your personal issue with me? What is this issue with me? What's that issue with me? Okay, if the bad outweigh the good, then we don't need to be working together no more. You know what I mean? And I mean, I've dealt with that with 3 artists. You know what I mean? And that's just being real. I dealt with that situation before. They felt like I wasn't. That come down. They felt like I wasn't pushing them. They felt like I wasn't doing this. They felt like I wasn't doing that. They felt like my main focus wasn't just on them. And shit, okay. But at the end of the day, this is a team effort. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's trusting the process, it's manifesting the whole situation and see where we going with it. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna need these other players. Regardless of what you're saying, you'll need these other players at some point. That's expanding your promotion, that's expanding people knowing who you are, that's expanding just everything for you. You know, you want to think within the box. So at the end of the day, like I say, I'm just cut though with it. Hey, if the bad outweighs the good, then I don't got to deal with it. I ain't about to waste my time with it. Just point blank, period.
I'm real big on communication. So even like from the jump, I set my expectations on what I expect, and I let the artists tell me what they expect. You know, let me know their expectations. And you know, whenever we move forward, if it becomes a point to where I feel like my expectations aren't being met or their expectations aren't being met, then we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a conversation about that. And like I tell them at the beginning of any meeting that I have with an artist, even if this relationship don't last, I'm still gonna be a fan of your music because that's why I'm reaching out to you in the first place. So it ain't no love lost, just not everybody meant to do business together. So if your expectations aren't being met, my expectations aren't being met, then respectfully, it's time to go our ways.
Yep, that part. I see you got my name Reach B in the back too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely believe in being straightforward when it comes to that, man. When it's, you just got to look at the red flags. My biggest thing, I tell people that I can't make people love you, right?
That part.
I can't make people love you. Like, if I have a show with us three, right? And people are showing me more love than this person or X more love than me, I can't make his people love, you know what I mean? Like that is
Mhm.
to me that's the artist. That's what we put out into the world, the exposure that you have out there. That's supposed to do that. I'm not, hey man, you need to really like this guy because this guy's freaking amazing. I can't go to 1 billion people and say that. You know what I mean? Your music at some point has to speak for itself. So again, I believe in forward movement, being productive. If your numbers are sitting still, if you're not getting the response that we projected and we've tried everything, then it's time to figure something out. It's about that time.
Right.
I'm sorry.
'Cause I don't
If
want to
we're
hold
not
you
being
back.
productive, what are we
I
doing?
don't want to hold you back, and I don't want you holding me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real talk. I mean,
Right.
that's how I feel about it. Cause like I say, like, like I tell my artists, like, at the end of the day, yeah, more people know me than y'all. Cause at the end of the day, you know what I do? I network, point blank, period. But at the end of the day, I'm mentioning y'all name to these people. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Ask him, shit. I can't tell the people he don't know shit about. Like, who the fuck is him? You know what I mean? Then he start coming to the shows and I'll point him out. One up, bro. That's my new
Facts.
artist, right? Check him out, bro. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your opinion on it. So but then at the same time, they don't see that the same love that I'm getting. They like, oh, I want that love too. You know what I mean? But at the
Right.
same time, the game don't work like that, really. Like
Yeah.
shit, they probably got some people that don't know me. Shit, that don't come up to me and say what's up to me, but they know of you. You know what I mean? That's just how the game goes, though, and they just gotta understand that. Then once when they let that ego start tripping, then it's time to move around. Now, I'm not no ego type person because ain't nobody better than nobody in this game. You know what I mean? It's about teamwork. Shit, numbers is numbers. It's whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. And we're gonna wrap this up, gentlemen. Got a couple of more questions for you. What skill do you have that you feel like is unique in the marketplace as far as artist management?
Foresight.
Mm,
Foresight. I have the ability to see greatness in people who can't see it in themselves.
mm,
And I have also the gift to set a goal and work backwards from it so they can get to that goal. But it takes little wins for them to actually get the momentum and see, okay, this is what he sees in me. So foresight is definitely my gift for sure.
all right.
You ain't lying about that, bro. For real, because he the one who made the Money Wave Empire logo. Once when I started this game, I ain't had no logo. Jim Mason made the logo for me because he seen the vision. After my first show, he seen the vision. You know what I mean? He like, oh, okay. So he just randomly do me a logo. Like, I ain't giving him no ideas or nothing. Bro, just here go a logo. Tell me what you think of it. Shit, nigga, I love that shit. Ran with that shit. Now you see that imprint everywhere now.
Yeah.
On
And that's
shirts,
Dark
hoodies,
and
hats.
Mason. And that's where we're seeing is. You know what I mean?
The dude is a genius.
Yeah, yeah, he
He
is.
is,
I'm telling
yeah.
you,
I
bro,
mean, you
at
know,
the end of the day, I
yeah,
ain't
he
had no
is,
logo,
yeah.
bro. I was just Money Wave Empire.
Yeah.
Okay, no logo. My very first show I had, it wasn't no Money Wave Empire logo on there. You know what I mean? It was just a regular flyer. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, Big Bro sent it to me. So yeah, foreseeing it's real good with Big Bro. You know what I mean? Seeing the vision. He real good at that. I can give him his props on that, man. For
Thanks, man.
real.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Mine's is talking. I talk a lot of shit. You guys, bro, I can be on the phone with you for 2 hours. I can be on the phone for 2 hours, bro. So really just communicating, talking a lot, you know what I mean, networking, you know, that's why I'm saying I'm good at it. And like I say, I'm good at seeing the vision too. But at the same time, you know what I mean? My main thing is actually talking to people. And I ain't scared to ask nobody for help. I'm not scared to ask a question. I'm not scared of none of that shit. So I say communication is my strongest point in this game.
I say communication and organization. Communication just simply because I know for me, I'm a bridge between my clients and the outside vendors that we deal with. So just being able to properly communicate with them on her behalf, and then also turning a lot of no's into yeses. I run into that a lot. So just being able to do that. I know a lot of artists don't got the gift the gab. So just coming with that hustling mentality and being able to communicate, and then also just organization. I'm managing an artist and their lifestyle and what they got going on. So it's a lot to handle. And if you're not good with organization and making sure things are in place how they're supposed to be, then things can get out of track real fast.
Yep. For real, organization is major.
All right. Last question, gentlemen. If you could manage, you had the opportunity to reach back in the past, if they passed away, or an artist that's living, that's famous and well known, who would be that I don't want to say dream artist, but an artist that you admire, that you're like, hey, if I had the opportunity to manage them, who would that artist be?
I'll be real. Oh my bad, y'all. I'll be real. My bad. But I'm gonna be realistic. You know what I mean? If anything, I'm gonna reach out towards the Oklahoma scene more than the mainstream scene. And I would say somebody like Super J. Super J, or T Rush or Young Star. I would want to reach out and actually manage them because back then it was so hectic with the gang banging and all that stuff. I felt like I could have been that person like I am now and bridge that gap between the Bloods and the Crips and the Blues and all that. So I would just go Oklahoma stream and make it to where they at the next level.
I respect that.
Man, go ahead, Marshall.
Me, I ain't gonna lie, man. I would like to, and I'm saying this number for a reason. I would like to manage the 96 Jay-Z. Because his high school class was Busta Rhymes, Clark Kent. Like I would have been around that whole circle and just and honestly, it'd have been more of an experience for me with that caliber of talent, raw talent at that time. And I know that if I would have came in the game at that time and trying to fast forward to who I am, who I would be at this point, I would have so many jewels, so many resources, because all my life I've always absorbed the relationships that I've had. Like I still can talk to these guys here. So I've always been able to, like I say, foresight. Like, okay, this guy seems like he's gonna be something. Let me tap in with this person. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jay-Z.
Cool.
For me, man, God bless the dead. I'm gonna have to say Nipsey Hussle. I feel like he was I feel like me and him could have learned a lot from each other. You know, iron sharpen iron, and I feel like that would have been a great relationship. And I'm a fan more than anything. So, and I always feel like a manager shouldn't be managing an artist that they're not a fan of anyway. So, yeah, that nigga, I don't know if y'all can see that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's real now.
so I mean, if it was anybody, it'd be Nipsey Hussle.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing this. This is our first one. I think the next one we'd like to do, we want to do it live and have an audience there and some food. And we'll make it, and all three of you are invited back. You're the pioneers of it. We're gonna make a thing of it, man, and show respect to the managers. It's a vital part of the scene. Appreciate it. On behalf of Local Heat, y'all already legends. Thank you for joining in.
Man, appreciate you, brother. Love y'all.
Man.
I appreciate love to y'all too.
Y'all be safe.